Hey guys, here's a video on adding and subtracting rational functions. We're going to start off really basic with addition, do about 2-3 examples, and then we're going to move on to subtraction. So the first one, we're going to add x plus 6 over 3x minus 6 plus x plus 1 over 3x minus 6. So the first thing we need to talk about is a restriction on x. So one thing that you need to do always is factor your denominator. So 3x minus 6, there's a GCF of 3, so I can back out a 3, and then I get x minus 2. So for my restrictions, I don't want my denominator to equal 0. So in other words, I can take 3 times x minus 2 and set it equal to 0 and solve. When I do that, I get x minus 2 equals 0. So x cannot equal positive 2. That is my restriction. Alright, now let's just add. So since I have the same denominator, I can just add across. So I'll have x plus 6 plus x plus 1 all over, I'm going to leave it as the factored form, 3 times x minus 2. Okay, combine like terms. X plus x gives you 2x. 6 plus 1 gives you 7. So 2x plus 7 over 3 times x minus 2. Now, if I could factor the 2x plus 7, I would factor that and then cancel out, but I can't. So this is my final answer. Okay, moving on. There's some times when you get to these where you don't have a common denominator, so you have to create one. Most of my classes, they were able to figure it out that you basically just took the opposite denominator and multiplied it by the opposite numerator. But before we get into actually solving, again, let's go ahead and talk about the restrictions on x. So I have x plus 7 in my denominator. So this cannot equal 0. So I'm going to solve for x plus 7 equals 0. I get x cannot equal negative 7. In the other one, x minus 8 equals 0. Solving for x, x cannot equal positive 8. Alright, let's put parentheses around that x plus 7, x minus 8. And now let's write it as one common fraction. So the 3 over x plus 7, it's missing the x times 8. So I'm going to multiply 3 times x minus 8. Then the 4 over x minus 8 is missing the x plus 7. So I'm going to do plus 4 times x plus 7. And that's all over x plus 7 times x minus 8. Okay, now we're going to distribute. So 3 times x minus 8, I get 3x minus 24. And then 4 times x plus 7, so I get plus 4x plus 28 all over x plus 7 times x minus 8. Okay, combine like terms. So 3x plus 4x gives me 7x. Negative 24 plus 28 gives me plus 4. So 7x plus 4 over x plus 7 times x minus 8. Okay, and again, 7x plus 4, I cannot factor that, so I am completely done. And this is my answer. Okay, if you have any questions so far, make sure you pause the video, rewind it, and actually work it out while I'm going through this. Alright, our last example for addition. So we have 2 over 3x squared plus 12x plus 8 over 2x. So before we can get to our restriction, the first thing that we need to do is factor. So I have 3x squared plus 12x. This has a GCF of 3x. Then I have, when I take out a 3x, I have x plus 4. Okay, so looking at both of my problems. So I have a 2x and a 3x. So no matter what's going to happen for my restriction, I'm going to have a 2x or 3x equals 0. Both of them will give you x cannot equal 0. Then the other one, I have x plus 4 equals 0. so x cannot equal -4. Those are both your restrictions. Okay, I'm going to rewrite problems before we start adding and multiplying so that we can see what all we're missing. So I have 2 over 3 times x plus 4 plus 8 over 2x. Now, looking at these, the only thing that I'm missing or the common factor that both of these have are an x. So whenever I do my multiplication, I don't have to worry about that x because it's already covered. So in other words, looking at the 2 over 3x times x plus 4, the only thing that I'm missing is this 2. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. Then the 8 over the 2x is missing the 3 times the x plus 4. So we multiply this by 3 times x plus 4. Alright, let's start multiplying out. So 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 4 plus 8 times 3 is 24 times x plus 4 all over 2 times 3 x times x plus 4. Okay, now let's distribute. So I have 4 plus 24 times x plus 4 gives me 24x plus 96 all over 2 times 3 is 6, so 6x times x plus 4. Okay, now I need to combine like terms. So 4 plus 6 gives me 100, so I have 24x plus 100 over 6x times x plus 4. Okay, so I know that you think that we are done, however we are not, because 24x and 100 have a greatest common factor. If you don't know what it is, then you can use your handy dandy calculator and figure it out. But so what it is don't know off the top of my head because it's really late at night. 24 comma, I cannot type my calculator either. And the greatest common factor between these is 4, so I'm going to factor out a 4. So this is equal to 4. When I factor that out, I get a wonderful 6x plus 100 divided by 4 is 25 over 6x times x plus 4. Now I can reduce 4 and 6. 4 over 6 will reduce to 2/3. So I'm going to have 2 times 6x plus 25 over 3x times x plus 4. And now this, because it's fully factored, is your final answer. Okay, again, if you have any questions, make sure you stop, rewind, and rework this problem out, because this one's a little bit different. Okay, now we're going to go on to subtraction. So subtraction is just like addition, however, you have to pay attention to your parentheses. So the first one, we have x plus 2 over 2x squared plus 13x plus 20 minus x plus 3 over 2x squared plus 13x plus 20. Again, these have the exact same denominator, so we could go ahead and go straight into subtraction. However, the first thing I want you to find is the restriction. So in order to find the restriction, we have to factor. I'm going to factor this super quick because I'm expecting y'all to know how to factor at this point. So we're going to look to see if there's a greatest common factor, which there's not. So we're going to do a times c. So 2 times 20 gives us 40. Factors of 40 are 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, 5 and 8. Okay, the ones that will add up to a 13 are a positive 5 and a positive 8. So then we go and do our box method. So I put a 2x squared right here. Then I'll have a plus 5x, a plus 8x, and then a 20. Okay, GCF going up is a 2x. I match the sign, so plus. GCF going up is a 5. GCF going sideways is an x. Match the sign. GCF sideways is a 4. So 2x squared plus 13x plus 20 factors as of 2x plus 5 times x plus 4. Alright, so for my restrictions, so x plus 4 equals 0, and then 2x plus 5 equals 0. And we're going to solve for x. So for the x plus 4 equals 0, x cannot equal negative 4. 2x plus 5, 2x equals negative 5 divided by 2. X cannot equal negative 5 over 2. Okay, now let's go into actual subtraction. So for subtraction, you need to make sure that you are putting parentheses around your numerators because you're going to have to distribute a negative. So since both of these have the exact same denominator, I can go straight into subtraction. Let me scroll down just a little bit. So I have parentheses x plus 2 minus another set of parentheses x plus 3 all over 2x plus 5 times x plus 4. Okay, so as we know, whenever you have this negative, you have to distribute this negative 1, and it's going to change all your signs. So I'm going to have x plus 2 minus x minus 3 all over 2x plus 5 times x plus 4. Okay, combine like terms. You get x minus x gives you 0, and then 2 minus 3 gives you a negative 1 over 2x plus 5 times x plus 4. And so this is your answer. Alright, if you have any questions on this one, make sure you pause the video and go back. Alright, next one, we got 3x minus 5 over 2x minus 5 minus 2x plus 5 over 3x plus 1. So just like the addition, we're going to be multiplying by the opposite denominator. But first, let's find our restriction. So 2x minus 5 equals 0. So I'm just going to solve this quickly in my head. If you have questions on how to get the answer, ask your teacher. So x is going to equal, you add the 5, so I have a 5, and then divide by 2. So x cannot equal 5 halves. Next one, 3x plus 1 equals 0. Going to subtract 1 and then divide by 3. So x cannot equal negative 1 over 3. Okay, again, make sure you're using parentheses. So the 3x minus 5 over 2x minus 5 is missing a 3x plus 1. So I'm going to do 3x minus 5 times 3x plus 1. And then I'll put my subtraction sign. The 2x plus 5 over 3x minus 1 is missing the 2x minus 5. So I'm going to multiply 2x plus 5 times 2x minus 5. And it's all divided by 2x minus 5 times 3x plus 1. Okay, so you're going to use your box method to multiply. I'm not using the box method, so you need to practice this on your own. So I have 3x times 3x is going to give you a 9x squared. Alright, actually, better yet, we're going to come back to this, okay, because I'm about to run out of time and I don't want you to start multiplying without enough time. So go to part 2 and watch me multiply this out.